Gunners, stop what you're doing because Arsenal have officially done it. After weeks of negotiations, rejected bids, a £60 million valuation from Aston Villa, and a late push from Andrea Beta, Ezri Konsa is officially an Arsenal player. And this isn't just another transfer. Arsenal have paid £51 million upfront, with another £4 million in add-ons, and Konsa has signed a 4-year contract with an option for another year. But here's the big question. Why did Mikel Arteta and Andrea Beta fight so hard to get this particular defender? Because this deal could tell us a lot about Arsenal's plans for the new season. And Gunners, if you want Arsenal transfer news explained without the unnecessary noise, hit that subscribe button right now and turn on notifications because this summer is getting seriously interesting. Konsa is officially a Gunner. Arsenal have officially announced the signing of Ezri Konsa from Aston Villa. The 28-year-old England international becomes the 5th signing of Arsenal's summer transfer window, and the numbers are significant. Arsenal will pay an initial £51 million, with another £4 million potentially coming in add-ons. That's a possible £55 million deal. Konsa has also committed his future to the club on a 4-year contract, with Arsenal holding the option to extend it for another 12 months. So this isn't a short-term gamble. Arsenal clearly believe Konsa can become an important part of Arteta's squad for years to come. But this deal wasn't easy. This transfer actually started with Arsenal offering just £30 million earlier in the summer. Aston Villa rejected that immediately. Arsenal came back with a second proposal worth around £40 million. Villa still weren't interested. Their position was clear. Konsa was valued at £60 million. And remember, Konsa still had 4 years remaining on his Aston Villa contract. So why did Villa eventually agree to sell? One of the biggest factors was the player himself. According to the report, Konsa made his desire to join Arsenal clear. He wanted the move. And that appears to have helped Andrea Beta negotiate the final deal down to £51 million plus add-ons. So from Arsenal's perspective, they haven't simply paid Villa's original £60 million valuation. They've managed to get the deal done for less. Why does Arteta want Ezri Konsa? This is where things get really interesting. Andrea Beta described Konsa as a defender with athleticism, composure, and tactical intelligence. And those qualities fit perfectly into what Arteta demands from his defenders. But there's another major advantage. Konsa can play both centre-back and right-back. That versatility could be incredibly important across a long Premier League season. Imagine Arsenal dealing with injuries, suspensions, Champions League fixtures, and domestic cup matches. Having a defender who can comfortably operate in multiple positions gives Arteta another tactical option. And there's something else. Konsa himself specifically mentioned what excites him about playing under Arteta. He said he knows Arteta likes defenders who can defend properly while also remaining calm on the ball. And Konsa believes Arteta's style suits him. That tells you this wasn't simply Arsenal buying a defender. This was Arsenal buying a defender who believes he fits the manager's football. Konsa's message to Arsenal fans, and his first words as an Arsenal player, should definitely get Gunners excited. Konsa described joining Arsenal as a privilege and made his ambition very clear. He wants to win. In fact, when asked about potentially experiencing an open-top Bash Trophy parade next year, his answer was essentially 100%. That's the plan. That's the mentality Arsenal fans want to hear. He's not arriving saying he simply wants to settle in. He's arriving talking about winning silverware, and that's exactly what Arsenal need. The England connection. There's another interesting element to this transfer. Konsa already knows several Arsenal players from England duty. He has played alongside Declan Rice, Bukayo Saka, Noni Madueke, and Eberechi Eze, and apparently, they gave him some insight into life at Arsenal. Konsa said they told him he would enjoy it. That should make his transition into the dressing room much easier. He isn't walking into an entirely unfamiliar environment. He already has relationships with several members of the squad. Arsenal's summer spending is now serious. And this is where Arsenal fans need to pay attention. Konsa is reportedly the 5th signing of the summer. He follows Pierre Hincapie, whose option to buy clause was activated, Ilan Meslier, Christos Zolis, and Bruno Guimaraes. And with Konsa added to the squad, Arsenal's total spending this summer has now reached roughly £200 million. That is a serious statement of intent. Arteta isn't simply tweaking the squad. Arsenal are strengthening multiple areas. And with the Premier League season beginning, the message is becoming increasingly obvious. Arsenal want to compete for everything. And there's one more thing. Konsa's arrival could have an immediate impact on Arsenal's defensive options. You've got players competing for places across the backline, and Arteta now has another Premier League proven defender who can give him flexibility. That means more competition. And competition can be extremely valuable over a 38-game season. But there's also a bigger question. Could Konsa eventually become one of Arsenal's most important defensive pieces? That's something we are going to find out very quickly. Because this isn't a player arriving from overseas who needs months to understand the Premier League. Konsa already knows this league. He knows the physical demands, he knows the pace, he knows the opposition, and he has international experience with England. The bigger picture. For me, the most interesting part of this transfer isn't actually the £51 million. It's what the signing says about Arsenal's mentality. Andrea Berta identified Konsa as a top defensive target. Arsenal were rejected twice. Villa wanted more money, but Arsenal kept negotiating. Konsa wanted the move, and eventually, the deal was completed. That's exactly what you want from a sporting director. Identify the player, push for the player, negotiate the price, and get the deal done. Now the real work begins, because Arsenal have invested heavily, and the expectation will be enormous. But Gunners, I want to hear from you. Is Ezri Konsa worth £51 million plus £4 million in add-ons? And more importantly, does he start ahead of Arsenal's current defensive options? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you are enjoying the Arsenal transfer coverage, subscribe to the channel right now because we are going to be following every major development as Arsenal continue building this squad. Final. Ezri Konsa is officially a Gunner. £51 million upfront, £4 million in potential add-ons, 4 years on the contract with an option for another, 5 summer signings, around £200 million spent, and a clear message from Arsenal. They aren't satisfied with simply competing anymore. They want trophies. Konsa wants trophies. Arteta wants trophies. And now, Arsenal have another Premier League proven defender ready to help them chase them. The question isn't whether Arsenal have strengthened. The question is how far this new look squad can go. Until next time, Gunners.